Hello everyone, it's Shadow Dragon back with another Pokemon Go adventure. In this video you're going to see a series of 4 raids. It's my probably most extensive raiding day for Ho-Oh. And with 4 of them I just decided to speed up the video because you could actually see enough. Like in the raid battles, which are short anyway, you're just looking at a whole bunch of like rock types. We're pretty much all using the same or similar lineups, so you get a sense of the size of Ho-Oh. And the catch sequences, even at double speed, you're going to see like enough detail to get an idea. Now the first 2 catch sequences, I'm still kind of feeling it out, and I'm not really throwing it right. But in the last 2, you could see that I kind of figured out how to throw and hit him. He still gets away most of the time, but you'll get an idea of how I'm spinning the ball. See, in this first one, I'm still spinning it like diagonally like I do with the other catches. And some of them are missing, or they're not like hitting at the center. I think, yeah, this one I did end up catching, probably with a bad throw. Right, so this location it's labeled as a Starbucks, although there's no Starbucks in there unless it happens to be inside like a larger premise. But it is labeled Starbucks, so I'm not sure how that's going to work with the EX passes. But the actual location is called Dr. Smood, which is an organic cafe. So I don't know, maybe they took over Starbucks after the whole geotagging happened. Alright, so there's the catch for that one. So a while back, Niantic released like a little bit more details about how to get EX passes, and they also seem to have changed the rules a little bit. So they're trying to hit areas like parks where the place can allow for the population, where it won't interfere with regular traffic or maybe even attract police activity. So the sponsored locations still remain, but locations like churches may have been crossed off. So this second location is a library. So I'm not sure how that works, because I think a library can handle the population, but do they want like 100 people standing around outside and inside? So those kind of things we don't know. The other thing is they want it to be like a high level badge, so that means you have to have some activity in the gym. You can't just hit a whole bunch of different gyms that you haven't been to and then expect to get a pass. They're looking at high level, which is kind of up in the air. Probably not a bronze, but maybe silver and gold. So they want a lot of activity to probably combat spoofing. So they want to make sure you hit a location several times. And the other thing they didn't mention though is, and I still believe is a factor, is like the adjacent activity, again to combat spoofing. So as I'm doing these raids in Manhattan, I'm not really keeping in mind the EX pass anymore. I'm just going to let it come naturally because that's what their algorithm is looking for anyway. So I'm not trying to spread myself out to places that I normally wouldn't go. I'm just going to keep my regular raid loop, which centers around the starting point of Bryant Park, and then a whole bunch of populous locations around it. So this library, I've probably raided here like 3 times, but not really close together. Like this goes back to when the legendary birds were out. So this isn't like a common location. However, there's a Starbucks like across the street from here that is. That's the one where I think I have like four catches. So there was actually a bit of time between the previous location and this one. Like maybe there was like 30 minutes. So I actually spent some time at the Starbucks. So I spun that stop a number of times while I was in there. So this one this one got away, and you could see from the catch sequence that I'm still throwing it normally, a normal curveball, which is almost like a 45-degree angle, and then I'm kind of spinning it, sort of like the rings of Saturn, if you want to picture that. So I did get some greats in there, but this is still, it's not the best way to throw against Ho-Oh. And it's really hard to control the circle on him too, because like I've tried to lock it, but then when I toss it, it ends up being like the full size. So I think if you're going for the excellent on him, he has to be high up, because when he's low down, he's really close up, and the size of the circle doesn't seem to lock when he's low down. Alright, so after the library, the next spawn was along 5th Avenue, so I went back west 1 Avenue, and then went towards the location called Build-A-Bear. I mean, this used to be a Build-A-Bear store, but at some point it changed to Adidas. And this is also during the holiday season. We're in the holiday season now, and it's taking like a long time to get from raid to raid, like because there's so much traffic. This is on December 1st, which is actually this is the Friday after the Rockefeller tree went up, and that always goes up to Wednesday after Thanksgiving. So a lot of people were getting off work and getting online to view the tree, and some streets were even closed. And there were like police barriers up with people trying to stay in one line or the other. And also, during this period, Fifth Avenue has a lot of displays, a lot of Christmas displays that people are stopping and looking at. So that's kind of slowing down a lot of traffic. All right, so here's the catch sequence that I started kind of figuring it out for. So I'm just taking a couple of AR shots here. This was actually a fun raid because there were a bunch of people outside of the Adidas store, so we were kind of talking as we were playing. One of the more social raids. Okay, so actually that one is still kind of wrong. I'm still doing the diagonal toss. So it's supposed to go more horizontal. So like that one didn't get a great or excellent. Oh, and this is by far the highest one I've encountered so far. 2202, with the perfect being 2222. Okay, so that toss is still wrong. So that one I just tried a short toss. That's still a normal curveball. Pretty much still using golden raspberry for all of them because I don't have that many Ho-Ohs yet. And I'm really trying to get this one. So I'm still tossing it like at 45 degrees, but it's a shorter spin. Now, I don't know where I want to cut off the CP when I start to get a lot of these. Maybe 2190 should be where I use golden. And that was a critical. So this is the highest one I've encountered, and it's still the highest one that I have. Alright, the last raid was at St. Patrick's Cathedral, and while this is just 3 blocks away, it took me a good 10 minutes to walk there because of so much traffic. And this is going to the heart of where the Rockefeller tree is. Because as you've seen in my other videos, St. Patrick's is just across the street from the Atlas side of Rockefeller Center. And this is the location where I have like pretty bad luck. Like I've done a lot of raids here, and I've only had 1 legendary catch. Now St. Patrick's is another location that, I don't know, kind of fits both characteristics of the EX pass, like I guess a pro or a con. See, the side that works for it is it's a tourist location and there are crowds anyway. So that says it could be an EX location, but the thing is it might not be, because it's a landmark and they might not want extra people filling up the space. To tell you the truth, like I think they need someone who actually knows these locations to set them as EX passes, EX locations. See, I would think St. Patrick's is okay, because if you dump 100 extra people there during a normal time, it would still be less than like the holiday crowd. Okay, so going to this catch sequence. Okay, this is where I start actually throwing it right. Like you see it's a horizontal spin. If you want to picture like a Ferris wheel, it's going to be close to more like a Ferris wheel than like a Saturn ring. So it's almost entirely vertical. And if that, sometimes it might even feel more comfortable to like hold your phone at an angle and then do your regular toss. So I don't catch this one, but I'm hitting better and with better throws. Alright, so that ended the raid run pretty good. I mean, 2 out of 4 is a pretty good run, especially since I was learning how to throw against him. So at this point, I just have 3 ho-ohs. The first one from Queens, and then 2 from this run. So I'm gonna sign off from here, but I will end with a clip of using ho-ohs, so you can get a sense of his animations and what he looks like when you're using him in gym battles and other legendary battles as well, because he will get suggested for some ho-oh rates for neutral damage, because he is one of the higher CP Pokemon. Thanks for watching.